I was wrong, but right at the same time. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. Last week in the mod collection, things were a bit strange. Through the help of a viewer of the show, we were able to find listings that were not public, that I thought some could actually be purchased. However, unfortunately, to some viewers' dismay, once you add them to the cart and you go to check out, it wouldn't actually show up. But they did all come up this week, so the 335 Chill Eye Satin for $4,100. It's a nice dark blue satin metallic finish with the golden hardware, with the matching oversprayed headstock, and complete matching refinish on the back. We actually have the full listing page now of that left-handed one. It's $3,400 in Brulee Perimeter. The photos were kind of blurry last time, so let's take a little bit longer on this. Still the P94 pickup. They removed our poker chip, and we've got the zebra bobbin in the bridge, with golden speed knobs and kind of a mild flame top, but it's got some decent wood grain underneath it. The headstock looks like we're rocking the Mini Grovers. They removed the Les Paul branding and gave you a blank truss rod cover in black. And outside of adding your new decal, everything else seems to be about the same here. But yes, the Supreme was listed, and it ended up being $4,200. As we talked last time, this is the first Les Paul Supreme from the modern era to be equipped with P90 pickups. It's actually very similar to the Blueburst finish that you'd find on the old SG Supremes. And there was a small period in time when they came stock with P90 pickups. And I could have swore there was a blue one, but I don't see it on Google in that pickup configuration. But a lot of guys in the comments were liking this one. In fact, I was actually going to pick it up this week, and it was available. I saw it, and then I got distracted and didn't think about it again until right now. But in my head, I was thinking, oh, those guys who were really after it, I could just send them a message and send it on to them when I was done. But that one did not struggle to sell. But I'm really hoping we actually see the launch of a P90 Supreme, because it would make it more unique within Gibson USA's offerings. Because right now, if you go to Gibson's website, it's studios with humbuckers, standards with humbuckers. Yeah, you get the single P90 on the juniors, but that's not like the full-on Les Paul. They have a real lacking of P90 pickups, and people like them on carved top guitars and not just the juniors and specials. Now, that's not to say that the 56 and 68 reissues don't exist, as well as the standard 50s with the P90 option. But these are pretty safe colors as far as those go. This thing is P90 and flashy, and I think that's why somebody had to have it. Then if you were after that studio, it's now available and you can actually buy it. But it's an ice blue metallic and it's got a little bit of glitter flake within it. The back is actually just a complete dark blue. But oh, I remember seeing this last time. They actually let the paint go along where the maple cap would be exposed, just to give it almost like a blue sparkle edge. I can certainly appreciate that, and here's what our headstock's looking like. Unfortunately, as far as brand new ones that we didn't already know about, there are only two. So we got the Les Paul Special Sweet Lime for $2,400. We were just talking about slab body P90s. Well, here you go. It's the green color. Mushy peas with your witch hat knobs, no pick guard. Looks to be a satin finish that they continued on all over the back, including the neck. No funny business with the face of the headstock, but they left us alone with regular Grover tuners and the new mod collection decal. Apparently they were just going for sweet citrus this week because it's sweet orange metallic on an SG standard next. This one found a home rather quickly though, so $2,400. That one looks like it's actually a gloss finish. You've got a semi-covered dirty fingers in the bridge position with a P94 in the neck, a jet black ebony pickguard with your speed knobs. Pretty dark rosewood board, but our headstock's got the regular inlays done up in mother of pearl, but a blacked out truss rod cover. I was halfway expecting a stinger on this one, but no, at least they did the complete refinish work though. But it's got the Mini Grovers with the Schaller tips. Man, that looks so strange. Giant things on the tiny body. But the UK mod collection had a few things, starting with Satin Foliage. This is another SG standard, but instead of playing around with the pickups, they just let them be. Gave you the metal knurled knob and a nice dark sage green hue to complement everything. But if you're thinking that they just did the back and the neck and there's nothing else special, nope, we've got one more thing. If you don't look close enough, you're probably going to miss it, but it looks like you do have a metallic green headstock. Let's see if we got any candid shots that shows that off better. Not so far. There we go. You can always count on the EU guys. But now we've got a spicy chili over here. Slab body P90s, cream covers, no pick guard, no poker chip, orange switch tip with the reissue style knobs, wrap tail piece. But you know what? That particular rosewood board has a certain orange look to it. It matches. The headstock has a really modern look to it with those Grover tuners, and having the Keystone style tips with a regular Gibson USA style truss rod cover. But switching over to the back, we can confirm the Grover tuners. And wow, that thing is really blinding in these photos, but it appears to be a complete satin refinish. They even gave us the Moto backplates, just for a little bit of extra pizzazz. And then I would say the most exciting of their offerings was this 50 standard in metallic blood orange. Man, someone was hungry for citrus this week. Uncovered pickups this time. You got those overly ambered knobs to match your finish. That goes from like that orange to a slightly more redder hue and then more of a brown with a super dark rosewood fretboard. I don't see any mentioning of it being refretted. Possible they forgot to include that? Our headstock looks about normal. And oh, okay. So red back. But if you didn't look closely, you would miss the stinger. It's a little bit shorter than usual, and I think the lighting's playing tricks on our eyes. I'd imagine it's nicely centered, but they copied the burst job from the front on the back, but only made it two-toned, and then formed it into the stinger. That's actually quite impressive, having a bursted stinger like that. I guess now that I come back over here, I think it might be more of a two-tone finish. It just kind of blends a little bit more differently right here. I'd like to see that done up in a teardrop shape. And now, what was the USA demo shop up to? Well, they listed a good page of players' models, ranging from studios to standards, a few limited editions, or at least limited production. But what stood out to me was another beautiful lemon burst, this time advertised as a quadruple A top. Is that a thing, or is that a typo for a triple A top? I'm not too entirely sure, but it is a nice looking one, so I thought I would share it again this week. It just had some minor scratching, as well as some minor finish checking. But that's got that cool vertical cross-hatched wood grain with the flame, very 80s looking. But although at the same time, it's not exactly the same as the wood in that era, but it's vaguely reminiscent of it. Let's leave it at that. Oh, and I did have a viewer reach out that he saved something in the demo shop in his watch list, and he received a really good offer from them. So I tried to replicate that by adding this one to my watch list, because if I would have got the same offer that he got on something else, I probably would have picked that up to review. But unfortunately, I was unsuccessful, so what that probably means is if you watch something in their shop that's, say, a month old, you might get it, because that does happen. But I'm not going to talk about the percents since I did not actually see a screenshot. But next up, they had the 61 335 reissue, marked down $1,000. It reminded me of one of the old ES 335 Pros. Because of the uncovered pickups, you don't see that every day in a semi-hollow. Gives you more of a rock vibe than blues or whatever else you might want to use these things for. They can do a surprising amount. I mean, just that 335S that we reviewed this week, a solid body 335. That thing was rocking. There was a rather ugly Les Paul Standard Appetite Burst. If I ordered one of these sight unseen, I'd be thoroughly disappointed. But if I can see it, get a discount, I could learn to love this because, you know, it's kind of unique. It's got this weird circly wood grain over here and very uneven flame, but maybe it dances well in person. Certainly doesn't look anything like the original Appetite Burst, but hey, not every single one can speak to everyone. My favorite finish on the new modern day SGs is a translucent teal. This one caught my attention due to a blemish on the neck. It looks like they tried to touch it up, but it wasn't a perfect match. Now that could just be the lighting playing tricks on us, and that's not what they're trying to show, but there is a small ding and some finish checking. But if you can live with that for a $500 discount, you could be happy. Another one of these Mary Ford Les Pauls at a great discount. I still have mine if anyone's interested. Unfortunately, I cannot beat the demo shop price, but I would do $2,500 if you mentioned that you saw it in this video. And that about rounds out as far as sales tax and stuff. And then you don't have to deal with that pesky demo stamp. But if you guys like this one, I've got another special one for you next week. Next up, we have a left-handed Les Paul Tribute. It's $1,000, nice grade A maple top with some good wood grain and not too much else to speak of. Made this one catch my eye as I'm always looking for that flame neck version, and this one is oddly plain. Like it almost looks like it has some sort of a headstock repair here, but that's just like a little chatoyancy in the wood. And then this is just so painfully plain. Like, in a loving way, almost. I mean, maybe it does dance around a little bit. You've got some interesting stuff going on. I like it. In a, hey, my guitar's a little bit of a weirdo way. There's also a Songwriter Deluxe. This one actually sold last week, but I don't think I talked about it. It has an interesting bridge design. Almost looks like a longhorn steer that has been shaven down on the horns, I guess you could say. But you got the abalone rosette, you've got the multiply binding going around it. Then you get the fun rosewood headstock veneer. If Gibson Acoustics can do this, I would love to see that get used on Gibson USAs, because it's a beautiful thing. But then again, you have to be careful what you wish for, because if they start just throwing it onto everything, then it becomes slightly less special for those rare exotic pieces that do currently have it. Such as this Brazilian rosewood top NAMM Show 1998 that you can check out in this episode right here. It has a beautiful headstock veneer to it. Then since we've got some time left, I thought we would check out the European demo shop, because we haven't checked in with these guys in 3-4 months? As far as the sold listings, it looks like some things sold first about a month ago, so they have been slowly listing a few things, but I really don't think it's worth our time to continuously check in on them, because I don't see anything here that was that exciting. From a talking standpoint, outside of I thought this was interesting, a Kramer Disciple D1 4-string bass. Yeah, never knew that was a thing. That looks like you're going to break off those horns just by lightly tapping it, but it's very unique. I did not realize Kramer had an offering like that. But they really don't have much of anything on their shop anymore. I'm curious if they had a big sale or if they just took things off, because they've got the Maestro pedals and then just a few other guitars. And as far as the UK demo shop, it's pretty much the same. I didn't see anything too crazy. But it does appear that they list a few things here and there. But what did stand out is, look right here. They've got one of those 80s white Explorers. I still don't understand what's taken these so long. They were first teased almost 3 years ago. We saw the first batch ship, I think, what was it, December 2023? And we were all thinking, okay, it's just a couple of months, right? Just a couple of months, and no. But all right, Troglodytes, I hope you saw something cool. And we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.